Hey guys, Sean Seta Studios back again. It's Alex.
Justin the Orange Dream.
And it is I, Noah.
And we are back with Running the Ropes. We have some good stuff to talk about, mainly stuff involving Raw, building up to Extreme Rules, sad news from some deaths in wrestling, which we'll get to right away, more TNA, just laughing
The good,
stock.
the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. The good, the bad, and the TNA. Let's be honest.
That's ugly.
Yeah, that's ugly.
Ugh.
It's nasty. Yeah. And some ROH news and maybe some other stuff mixed in here.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Who knows? Tune in to find out.
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
Alright, well let's start first off with the news that I'm sure everyone's heard about if you haven't even living under a rock, which is the untimely death of the Ultimate Warrior, which actually took place the Tuesday after Raw. I gotta tell you, man, this is just like the craziest thing to ever happen.
I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
This is something out of a fucking movie, dude.
Yeah.
That this guy comes back.
Stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
Really.
Big time.
18 years of having a grudge with the WB, squashes it, comes back, has the Hall of Fame, comes out with a new DVD, does all this stuff, great moment, comes out on WrestleMania, comes out on Raw, all this, and then very next day drops dead. Just like
right after his return to Raw, and after he cut that promo saying, like, you know, after the man dies, like, he'll live on through the fans and people he influenced and everything. And the next day,
it's just, it's incredible. Just I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. You know, like he went out there and he puts the mask on and he says, like, I'll talk, you know, and then he talks about the spirit of the warrior always living on. You know, and then he passes, and it's I can't even put it into words.
It's like if this was in a movie, you'd like, oh bullshit.
That's not realistic.
Would never happen. It's like here it is happening.
It's like, oh, that's a cheesy ending or something.
And like I got like the way I heard about it was like I got a text from you like in like middle of the night. I got up at 6.
It was like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I read them. It's like the first thing I read in the morning. Like, oh, what's going on? They're like Warriors that I'm not kidding. Like. What? Like,
I'm not kidding on the text because he would have thought I was kidding otherwise.
I'd be like, what? And like I look online, like Warrior dead. You know, it's like what the fuck?
That's just
that was the craziest damn thing ever.
So sad too.
Yeah.
You know? And the hardest thing to think about is like we've sat and watched the Hall of Fame. Yeah. You know, and he had his 2 daughters, young daughters, and his wife who looked younger than him. You know, and she was a beautiful woman. You know, and. You know, they're the ones who are left to have to pick up the pieces. Yeah. You know, and the condolences go out to them.
Absolutely,
you know?
And you know, you can tell Warrior loved his wife and his daughters.
Yeah, he adored them. Yeah. You know,
I gotta give massive respect and credibility to WWE for like really stepping up. Like they sent like the day after they heard about Warrior dying, like they sent like aides out there to go like help take care of the family, like go grocery shopping, you know, inform family members just so like the Warrior's wife and his daughters could just be together and, you know, not have to worry about the meaningless bullshit. So, huge respect to WWE. I you know, and I don't know if either of you guys watched the documentary they had about Warrior that aired like last Wednesday. Very, very great stuff. I mean, they have like footage from Warrior like during WrestleMania weekend, which is it's insane to be watching footage of a guy who just had an interview talking about stuff, and like next segment is like, oh yeah, when he passed away. It's like it was crazy, man.
Yeah. And you know, I think back to his speech at the Hall of Fame where he kept saying no more match, I'm not going to have any more matches. And I was wondering, you know, he looked like he was in solid shape, so I was like, oh, I wonder if it's just like a personal thing, he just doesn't want to wrestle. And then the next night he came out and cut that promo, and I remember when he was leaving the ring and he shook the ropes, I remember thinking, man, he really didn't have much behind that. And I wondered, you know, is there something physically wrong with him where he just can't have a match?
He seemed kind of out of breath at times.
And I guess like people backstage said that he seemed like he was sweating a lot and he was faint, you know, after that particular time. So I mean,
still, it's kind of hindsight. I mean, when I was actually watching it, you know, you wouldn't have known.
Exactly. No. So you know, part of me wonders maybe like he knew something was wrong and he was just holding on till the last minute. You know, you never know.
I gotta say though, obviously this is extremely sad. The one really good thing to take out of this whole thing is though, like they buried the hatchet. Yeah. Which is pretty incredible considering how bitter the parties were towards each other at one time. So I think it was, I mean, one thing I've noticed in recent years, WWE's kind of been trying to reach out olive branches to guys that they've kind of been having feuds with and everything.
I think a lot of that has to do with Triple H. Like I think the guys really stepped up and like tried to bury the hatch with some of these older wrestlers. And again, like the documentary they had about Warrior, which aired, like they had footage of him like talking to Vince and like those two guys. It was really sad like seeing that stuff and like him and Hogan burying the hatchet and just like it's I'm so happy that Warrior was able to finally let all that hatred and bitterness go and like WWE was able to like move on with that and but it's so heartbreaking that like his life finally
right after all that.
Yeah,
right
finally
after,
Warrior's gonna be able to be a part of the wrestling world again with the WWE fans and now he's gone. So
and like you said, Justin, or alluded to, that like it's sad that it happened just after all that, but it would have been sadder if it was before.
Yeah, exactly.
So
so again, our deepest condolences to his family and
thank you, Warrior.
Thank you, Warrior. Yeah, a guy who really did help shape wrestling. May not have been the best wrestler, but he definitely helped shape wrestling.
Right. And I mean, this is a guy that was an inspirational speaker, and he affected a lot of people.
Yeah.
And left his mark. I think as long as there's professional wrestling, people are going to remember him.
Absolutely.
He was a huge star.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely. And I'd recommend everyone going out there and watching the documentary they have on Warrior on the WWE Network, and go out and buy the DVD. I'm sure a lot of that money is going to his family, so help take care of his family. So let's move on to something on a different subject. Well, first of all, I want to talk about Nancy Grace. Fuck you, bitch, for besmirching Warrior's memory the day he dies. You fucking cunt.
She's that's kind of her MO, is just capitalizing on situations and really sensationalizing things, and she'll pick up an aspect like she's infamous for, well, not only two of her interviewees have killed themselves after she grilled them on stuff. She's also famous for like when something like a murder trial or something comes up, she's always like, oh, this person's guilty, without really any evidence or anything.
Yeah.
And just famous for being a smear artist, running smear campaigns against people. And for her to come out and do this and say like, oh, it's all about this, and I don't know, she had DDP on and kind of like...
DDP had no idea what was coming, by the way. He thought it was going to be an interview about Warrior's life, and he actually wanted to just walk off set.
Putting him in a situation to have to like defend this ridiculous...
Also, this was one that really pissed me off, was like she had like a fucking list of like wrestlers she showed that had died young. Several of them had died of cancer and car crashes. One of them was a referee, and one of them on the list was Owen Hart, who
died from an accident.
Had nothing to do with steroids. His I don't even think he did steroids ever. So, on behalf of all wrestling fans everywhere, fuck you, Nancy, and please drop
on behalf of like people in general, half of journalists,
for humanity's sake.
Yeah, she's really just an embarrassment to the journalism community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not only that, but this should say a lot for whatever channel, HLN or whatever the fucking news channel that she's on. That is not news.
No.
You should be ashamed of yourself for having somebody on there that's saying things like that. That is embarrassing. And people should not be even fucking tuning into these garbage 24-hour news things. But before we get into all that shit, I just want to say fuck you, Nancy. And WWE apparently is trying to ban...
They basically said, like, anyone that has anything to do with them, don't go on Nancy Grace.
They're right for doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a cunt, Nancy. Let's face it.
Yeah, she's just. I mean, nothing.
Unlike her, we actually checked that fact, and she is a cunt.
Yeah.
So,
we have sources that will confirm it. Okay.
Actually, yeah.
And if anyone wants those sources, we will name names.
I just don't understand who watches her and like enjoys her programming. Or
psychotic people.
I guess.
Anyway, and moving on to. Do you want to talk about yet another death in wrestling?
I think that we should at least mention it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was informed last night before Raw aired that Daniel Bryan's father also passed away. This coming off of probably the greatest week in Daniel Bryan's life, where he main evented WrestleMania and basically became the biggest star in wrestling right now. Married his wife, which congratulations to him. Well deserved. The guy deserves to be happy and enjoyed a nice honeymoon, and he comes back to find out his father passed away. So. Our condolences to Daniel Bryan's family, and rest in peace, Father of the Dragon. Thank you for having one of the greatest professional wrestlers as a son, and I'm sure that his dad is looking down on him and very proud, and I'm sure Daniel Bryan's family is in deep mourning, and also thank you for WWE for probably, it looks like they're going to give him time off to be with his family. So again, classy move from the WWE.
Well, I hear that he chose to be on Raw, and it was mainly his choice to perform.
Yeah, we'll talk about that right now. I guess we'll get with the opening segment of Raw, which was...
Before we go, I wanted to actually touch on, like, none of us know his dad or anything like that, but there's a story, there's a promo, actually, after Danielson returned from his eye injury from Morishima.
Yeah.
Because he was going to quit wrestling because his family, his mother and his sister were we can't handle your injuries and all this stuff happening to you. And there's a great story he tells about his father where he sat down and he was telling his dad, you know, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And his dad looked at him and he said, you know, this is the life you've always wanted. And from that point on, he knew that he was going to stick with it. And for that, you know, that's pretty amazing that not only did his dad like help push him towards wrestling, but help keep him in it. And so he's had a hell of an influence on all of us, indirectly, but
absolutely. He helped keep one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time in the business. So again, thank you very much, Father Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure of his name. I think it was
Danielson. Yeah.
Danielson, yes. Thank you very much though for everything you did, and I hope that his family finds some comfort this week. So. Let's touch real quick on last week's Raw, which basically the main point of that was that Evolution returned to have a match with the Shield, or going to have a match with the Shield at Extreme Rules. This was kind of a mixed subject for a lot of people. Some people are really happy to see Evolution back. Some people are thinking, oh no, you know, they're reusing things from the 2000 era or whatever, and blah 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 blah. Me, I kind of like it because obviously this is done to get the Shield over as top talent. And it looks like they're going to be pushing heavily on Roman Reigns getting a match with Triple H at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I actually do like this. I have a feeling that this is just back to get, like you said, to get some guys over. I don't see it coming back for being like a long-term thing for any of these guys. So if they just have this match at Extreme Rules and maybe, you know, keep Evolution around for a little while longer, I would be okay with that. I think it's a cool thing, and if they have the Shield beat Evolution, that's some credibility.
The thing that I'm wondering about is, like, apparently Batista's going to be taking time off after Extreme Rules, you know, which is like, wait, see, which I'll talk about that another day in a second, but like, so I wonder maybe like they're going to have an angle like maybe where the Shield beats up Batista at Extreme Rules, and like he's the guy that takes the brunt of the damage, and then maybe they introduce new members of Evolution, you know, to help get some new guys over, maybe.
I hope not.
Okay, just an idea, you know, I don't know.
But I do agree with Justin. If it's a short-term thing, it's to put other guys over.
Exactly.
I'm all for it. You know, if it's a way to put these three guys back in the spotlight, then I'm not for it.
I'm a little wary with Triple H.
Yeah, but
and Batista and Orton, they're all kind of.
Honestly, this is a match that, you know, I want to see. You know,
me too.
It's one of those things that like it's. I don't know if I want to call it a dream match, but kinda.
It's kind of like one generation versus another.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, it's not.
Shield already took out the Attitude Era. It's time to move on to the Ruthless Aggression Era.
The Triple H era.
The Triple H era.
Yeah.
The Evolution Era. Time to kill that. You know. And then, but yeah, I'm sure this match is gonna be good. You know, I think this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We also have a tournament going on, which is a #1 contenders tournament for the Intercontinental title. So some pretty good matches on Raw last week, and actually there's some good matches this week. But the finals of the tournament are going to be RVD taking on Bad News Barrett, which Bad News Barrett getting pushed number 27, I guess.
I missed Raw last night.
Yeah.
That's what's.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Barrett.
I'm not.
I thought this was a vehicle for Cesaro personally.
I think that they're gonna have him. They're having him with Swagger probably.
Swagger,
and like, obviously, I think they just want to keep him like as a big star and like build him up more. And I think that putting him in the IC title picture is going to keep him busy. It would just be a waste of him because like obviously this guy's destined for more than just the IC title.
I kind of agree with Noah just because I think Barrett's been around the IC title so many times.
Yeah.
He's had it so many times, had so many pointless feuds. Like I don't think it really elevates him. I think they could use someone else winning it, someone fresh. I mean, Big E's had it and he's fresh, but
yeah,
I feel like that's what the IC title should be for, is pushing guys.
And I feel like if they're trying to finally elevate the IC title, and then they put it on Big E and they make it kind of important. He's had some good matches.
Yeah.
They have this tournament which makes it important. And then if Barrett wins it, it almost feels like, okay, we're back to where we started.
Yeah, and it's not putting on someone, like, you either should probably put it on someone who's upcoming to elevate them, or if they want to give it more credibility, put on someone more established. But Barrett is neither of those things.
No, we'll see.
I do think Barrett should be in the mix just because I actually do really like his gimmick. He's actually, it's a really stupid gimmick, but he's putting so much effort into it that it's working.
And the crowd's responding to it,
but the belt won't help it.
No, exactly, yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
I guess we'll talk about now what happened at the beginning of Raw this week, which was Daniel Bryan coming out, and bear in mind this was like hours after finding out his father passed away. So huge respect to Daniel Bryan for even wanting to be on the show.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how emotional that must.
Oh, you could tell.
You could tell when he came out of the curtain. You know,
and
I saw the first segment.
Yeah. So Kane comes out to the crowd wearing the mask again because like the week before Stephanie berated him and like encouraged him to become the monster again. So Kane comes out, beats the hell out of Bryan, tombstone powder on the floor, tombstone powder on the steel steps. They're about to cart Bryan away, takes him up again, and tombstone powder on the table. Talk about fucking overkill.
Yeah.
I will say though, I was talking to Justin about this on the way here. It's like this is a good way to give Daniel Bryan time off to be with his family, and you know, and it's a good way of building up a monster. And like I like the idea that like maybe like they're kind of like the idea that Stephanie doesn't have control of the monster Kane. That the monster's loose now, and no one can control him. Blah blah blah. The other thing is it's fucking Kane, and how many times have we seen? Yeah, how many times have we seen this storyline repeated over and over again, like it's fucking Groundhog's Day? So
I hated this. By the way,
I give this an A for effort for trying to build up a credible feud, and you know these guys do a feud. Daniel and Bryan.
I disagree so strong.
I know.
An A.
My God!
If it was anyone but Kane, it would have worked. Okay, it was
Kane.
I know it's Kane. That's why I said
effort. An A for effort would have been anybody else but Kane.
I said it was for effort, as in I liked the idea of it, but if it was anyone but Kane, it would have worked. If this was done with like Brock Lesnar just coming back and just destroying someone, it would have worked. Okay.
Well, yeah, that would be Brock Lesnar and Kane are.
Yeah. But okay, these guys do have a feud. That they do have a history, so it makes sense for like the whole payoff, like the final chapter of the Daniel Bryan authority feud is him beating Kane and ending the whole thing with 40 and moving onward, hopefully. But I do agree that like it's stupid to be doing it with Kane again, especially when you just had the fucking whole corporate Kane transformation back in November or October.
It's like first we want you to be this corporate guy, now we want you to be a monster.
It's so stupid, and yes, it's recycled and repeated, but it was an effective segment to make him look like a monster. It's just the fact it's fucking Kane.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like whenever they do this, like they want to punish someone or have like a big challenge, it's always Kane or Big Show, and generally, I mean, Big Show wins, but Kane never fucking wins.
No.
Like,
no.
How many matches has he like?
No, God.
How many matches has he ever won? So I mean, he always seems like a credible threat, but then you think about it, like he never really wins.
He hasn't been a credible threat for years,
especially after Mania when him and
the New
Age Outlaws just got steamrolled like nothing, and now the next month he gets it. The thing is, they booked themselves into a corner, which they tend to do, because Batista and Orton are both in this match with the Shield. Cena and Wyatt, the other two, what I would consider to be logical contenders,
I agree,
are in a match with each other that they have to pretty much do.
And they're not going to waste Lesnar on Bryan right now.
Right, so I mean, there's not a whole lot of available challengers. The problem was putting Kane into this whole thing in the first place. He never really added anything to the storyline.
No, he did not.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else they could do. I'm not overly excited about it though, but
I'm sure it will be. It's Daniel Bryan. It's going to be entertaining, and it's probably going to be a good match. But as far as logical booking, no, it does not make sense. But
this was stupid. Okay,
okay.
My turn.
Okay,
this sucked. Okay, the week prior, Stephanie asks him directly to be this guy, and then the next week she's shocked that he became this guy. That's
it was
stupid as shit.
The idea that was.
Secondly, my turn.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I'm starting to lose my train of thought.
Okay,
here.
sorry.
But just the fact that like Triple H should have been the end of this feud. There's no reason that Kane is still.
I'll give you that one.
The Authority storyline should be over. There's no reason for this at all. Kane. You know, you say like, oh, they made him look like a monster. You could put anybody out there to beat up somebody for 20 minutes, and of course they're going to look like a fucking monster. this was stupid. This was horrible. And the table didn't even fucking break. So the whole segment sucked ass. I hate it. And Brian gets backed out of the ring when Kane's fire comes up right into Kane. Somehow Kane knew exactly where those two were going.
Yeah.
I hated every second of it. Oh, and one thing, Stephanie screaming on the microphone the whole time was just, it was worse than Alfonso with that fucking whistle. I hated it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. The whole problem is that it's Kane. Like, what are you going to do with Kane?
Exactly. Kane's going to look like a monster for 2 weeks up until Extreme Rules, and he's going to lose, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in between here. It's like, I understand hating it. I don't like it either, but I don't know what else they could really do, but...
They could do Brian versus Sheamus again.
That would be better than
Honestly,
this.
yeah.
That would be a shitload better than this.
Why can't he just... For me, it's his first defense.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be some elaborate thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Why can't he just defend it against somebody credible? You already have the main event, which is Evolution versus the Shield. So obviously you don't expect this match to be very much because Kane's fucking in it. So put anybody else. Anybody.
Yeah. Sheamus actually would make sense because he's never really beaten Sheamus in a big match, and Sheamus beat him several times for the title.
So, I mean,
at Extreme Rules included.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool, like if Brian just came out like, hey, I'm going to try to, I'm going to redo all the, the previous opponents or whatever, something like that, or, someone bring it up, like, that he's, like, never been
anything but Kane.
I know.
Better.
Anyway, we all done with that rant? We can move on to something else?
Sure.
Okay.
Enough Kane for one day.
Yeah, okay. We got more with the John Cena Bray Wyatt feud, which is going to be taking place. There's going to be a steel cage match at Extreme Rules, which I liked the idea of it, but here's the thing. If the basic principle of the idea was like that, like, without the Wyatt family helping you, I'm going to be able to beat you. It's like, well, wouldn't that make more sense if Bray Wyatt had beaten Cena at Mania thanks to the Wyatt family interfering? Just a thought.
Yes.
So, there's that, but whatever,
When was the last time a cage match kept people out?
Never.
I don't think that's ever
It's
happened.
specifically designed to do that. Never happened.
The 1980s, maybe?
Like when this will keep everyone out. What about that door that everybody walks right
through? The fucking open ceiling.
In TNA, they couldn't even keep Christy Hemme out when she wanted to stay out.
Alright, buddy. I do like what this feud is, with how they're building this up, and like, a lot of that has to do with the fans. Like, the fans are chanting along with Bray Wyatt with he's got the whole world in his hands thing, and like, so I kind of like the idea like a Bray Wyatt, like, the idea is Bray Wyatt is brainwashing the wrestling fans into going against Cena. Yeah, I'm sure it's a real big fight.
Yeah. Well, Bray Wyatt has to win here, in my opinion, but I'm concerned since this is a cage match, they'll probably protect Cena and have Bray escape or something.
I hope that's
which is out of character for Bray. I hope the Wyatt family finds a way to interfere. Just have Cena get pinned. He can get pinned once in a while.
Speaking of stupid booking, how about the fact that on Raw you didn't see this, but the main event was like Cena facing a member of the Wyatt family, but it could be all three of them. And the fans voted for all three Wyatt families. So Cena getting beat up all match, whatever, and then he's about to pin Bray Wyatt, and Rowan and Harper run in and start breaking up, and like they all brawl, and the referee calls for a DQ. It's like, could you not just have fucking Cena be pinned by the Wyatt family? It's the fucking Wyatt family. This is the team that beat the Shield at Extreme Rules. Just have Cena get fucking pinned. And also, how fucking crazy would that be for Cena to be pinned on Raw?
So Cena has now single-handedly defeated the Wyatt family and the Shield.
Via disqualification, yes.
Yeah, both times. But still. But still, it's 3-on-1, you can lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Cena losing to a 3-on-1 handicap match.
Yeah, I mean...
In fact, that should make sense.
Cena's the last guy in wrestling whose credibility is at stake.
And also...
at any given time.
Also, you can build it up like, well, hey, I may have lost to the Wyatt family last week, but at Extreme Rules, it's going to be 1-on-1, and it's not going to be 3-on-1. I'm going to be able to get my hands on you, Bray Wyatt.
So yeah, if the Wyatts can't beat him, how are we supposed to think Bray can beat him?
Bray Wyatt better fucking win, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he has to.
Okay, and anything else?
Well, shit, I was going to say something, but, oh yeah, basically Bray Wyatt is carrying this feud.
Oh, absolutely. He's
and then, not this past Monday, but the Monday prior, Cena comes out and cuts one of those hideous, like,
joking promos.
Just, super
bad
baby
Photoshop.
face.
Yeah. Bad Photoshop,
It just took everything that they did at WrestleMania and was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm happy again.
But then Bray Wyatt.
I won, I'm happy.
Cena wins,
my legacy's
LOL.
fine.
But then Bray Wyatt somehow, someway scooped up the fallen bits of this feud and pieced some of it back together by just saying like, oh, that's that's what you always do. You always make jokes and blah. So it's like, okay, they're doing something with
But
this.
aren't we supposed to be rooting for Cena? Isn't he the good guy?
Yeah. Exactly. Like people are rooting for Bray Wyatt more because Bray Wyatt's fucking calling Cena on bullshit.
Laughs at these photoshops.
Michael
Who's doing it?
Some people were laughing. Like they were getting reactions in the crowd, so there must be some idiots in the crowd.
There's kids.
There's always idiots in the crowd.
Yeah, that's funny.
They're in Alabama. There's a lot of idiots in Alabama.
Which idiot backstage was the one that thought it was so funny?
Vince.
Yeah.
Vince probably does think that stuff's funny.
It's like a baby with a grown man's face.
The thing is, like, I seriously want to like Cena because I always say like he'll have a good match or something. Like, oh, I want to get behind this guy. I want to like him. Then they turn around. Yeah, he seems like when I see him show up on like and not be restrained with the promos or whatever, and be on like shows and stuff. I was like, he seems like a naturally charismatic guy. But then like they turn around and have these like cookie cutter shit promos, same shit every week. I just can't stand it. Like, how am I supposed to root for this?
That's what I've always said. Like, I've said time and time again, Cena is not the problem, it's the fucking booking team.
They just don't, he just cannot be cool. There's nothing about him that can be cool. Like,
yeah.
He is like the most generic version of a cool thing.
He's the Mitt Romney.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway.
We're also going to have Paige versus Tamina at the pay-per-view.
Except Mitt Romney didn't win.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I just watched a documentary on him.
Oh man, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, me too.
It was actually kind of good, but
we're not going to talk about fucking politics. Moving on.
Moving on.
Did any of you guys watch the Daniel Bryan during the WrestleMania show?
No, I did not.
No.
Okay, I recommend it. It's great. Watch it, fans. It's basically just catalogs his entire journey from like the beginning of his career through ROH, and they have interviews with like Rollins and Cesaro. And it basically just leads up to his match at WrestleMania. It's pretty fucking awesome. Right. So watch it. It's really great. Well, let's talk about things that also pisses off. TNA.
No, they don't piss me off anymore.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, right. It's just more comedy fuel.
Yeah.
Last week we had quite possibly the greatest shocker of all times. No, 2 weeks ago, I guess. Whatever.
It happens every week.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, really.
We had
a string of shocks.
Yeah.
We had a 10-man gauntlet match for the number one contenders for the TNA World Title. Eric Young won it, and he goes on the mic and he's like, "I don't want to wait for my pay-per-view match. I've been waiting 10 years. I want it tonight." So with a hurt shoulder and his big bushy beard, he faces Magnus in a match where no one can interfere, and he wins the fucking belt. Eric Young, the guy who for the past, 4 years of the fucking TNA company has been a comedy character and occasionally turned into a serious wrestler.
Has been a women's tag team champion.
Yeah.
Yes. Got married in his underwear in a cage with ODB.
Yeah.
Has a fishing show on Discovery Channel.
Which that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
but anyway,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is now the TNA World Champion by defeating Magnus, the guy who beat AJ Styles, beat Sting, and beat all these other top guys, beat Samoa Joe, was beaten by fucking EY on free television. Which
Magnus hadn't been built up strongly either, so this was like a match of guys who both shouldn't be champions.
This is a match of two TNA booking teams that failed.
Well, it's one TNA booking team.
Whatever.
Sucks, but
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. There's not only no build to this match. I can understand having like no build to the match if it was a credible threat. Like if Joe just randomly tore shit up on one night out of nowhere, that would be more credible. But this is Eric Young, who hasn't been booked strongly, possibly ever. I can't really remember.
Since World Elite was booked.
Yeah, like 2009.
Yeah. About as close as he got.
Yeah.
But he's been wearing fucking turkey suits every Thanksgiving since then. So how am I supposed to believe this shit?
He had a period where he would be wrestling and then take off his pants and wrestle in his underwear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think my problem isn't like Young himself.
No, Eric Young is a very talented guy. It's just always been TNA incapable of booking this guy consistently to make him look like a reasonably credible threat.
And it almost looked like they didn't know what the fuck to do with the belt. They're like, you know what? Well, Joe lost in a ridiculous fashion. Now what?
Yeah.
What do we do now?
Yeah, but that was about the point I was about to make was why have Joe lose? Because having Magnus retained for no reason, he's going to lose it anyway. And why? Like, how big would it have been if Joe had won? That would have actually, in my opinion, would have brought some, not a ton of interest back, but some people would be interested in that. Say, oh, Joe won. I like Joe. I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
But they had him lose for no reason, just to have Magnus lose to someone who was not anywhere near the title picture.
This would be like if WWE the next week decided to book Santino to win a battle royal and then let him challenge for the World Heavyweight title and win it. It's the same fucking thing, folks.
Pretty much, yeah.
This, and like, you can't help but compare the whole thing to Daniel Bryan because, Eric Young with the fucking beard and the popularity with the fans and stuff like that.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
Shoulder, yeah.
It was almost like fucking a bizarro version of the Daniel Bryan match.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so fucking stupid. I just cannot get over it. Again, nothing against EY. It's just this fucking company sucks so much that they can't put anything reasonably good on television.
That was awesome.
It's baffling to me.
Well, I mean, another thing, they recently did the same thing with Saban, had him kind of win unexpectedly out of nowhere, and he's a very talented guy, and it just, no one cared.
Yeah, oh, by the way, Saban, gone from TNA, Bad Influence, gone from TNA. It's like, TNA, you're fucking dying,
I feel like, maybe we've mentioned this before on here, but it's like TNA's plan is, they're gonna, alright, we're gonna push you to the moon, and then we're just going to sit back and let you make us money. They did it with Joe when they brought him in. It didn't work. They did it with Angle when they brought him in. That didn't. Well, that was as close as they've ever been to that work.
Yeah.
But they tried it. They tried it with everybody. They tried it with Young. They did it with the Wolves.
Yeah.
They threw the belts on them, which I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
Oh no, that was a fucking house show that they immediately lost afterwards. And now, like every fucking week, they have a match against the Bromance, and some shady thing. So like,
they managed to kill off the Wolves' credibility already.
Before giving him the fucking belts, legitimately.
Yeah.
God damn, you are fucking dumb.
And then they have these one-night-only pay-per-views.
Yeah.
The next one, I don't know what it is. It's like the throwback show or something. So they bring in a bunch of guys. They bring in guys that aren't regulars, and those non-regulars are winning matches. Yeah. Are you kidding me? You don't plan on booking these guys?
Well, they might bring. One guy who might come back to the company, thanks to MVP's friendship with him, is Loki. Yeah, that's a guy you want in your fucking company.
I've heard Loki's probably coming back. He won the he has an title shot.
Yeah. Aries also might be on his way out too.
Yeah, Aries lost 2 consecutive falls to Sonata.
Yeah. God damn, man.
They're not doing anything
well. They're not doing
not a single thing.
No.
They got this whole Samuel Shaw, Mr. Kennedy debacle.
Oh my god.
Which is
I can't believe they're still doing that. I thought they'd give up on that.
I was hoping they'd end that. But then again,
they saw the came in, we got a rematch, there's money there.
Yeah, there's a potential they could have another worst match of the year.
Are they trying to like tank for tax purposes? Is this like the movie The Producers where they're trying to produce shit so they can somehow
must be
defraud somebody?
I'll believe that comparison when they bring a dancing Hitler on stage.
They might as well. That probably would increase ratings.
No, Orlando Jordan, remember him?
Oh god, I try to forget that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, and Jarrett's new promotion ain't looking much better.
It looks amateurish.
Yeah.
If they brought in some people who knew they were doing.
Who were some of the guys that you said had been rumored to be signed?
Jay Lethal. It sounds like a lot of guys from TNA, TNA's past. Kevin Nash was on this list.
Yeah.
To me, it's
I
just
think bringing in Nash would be okay if he wasn't actually wrestling. Like if he was a personality.
Announcer.
That would be awesome.
Oh yeah. The thing is, though, to me, it's almost like Jarrett. He lost his company. Now he wants it back.
The same company.
Same company.
He was going to start over and try TNA again, basically.
Take two. All right.
I don't think this is. I'm not really that excited about it, honestly.
Yeah. So let's try getting with the same guys who are now older instead of like.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the real number 2 company in North America right now, which is ROH. Which, for all intents and purposes, I think that we can just call ROH the number 2 company right now behind WWE. I mean, really, is there any comparison?
As recently, they have gotten better attendance and stuff, and they seem to be healthier.
Yeah. Well, that health might be increasing a lot more now because on January 22nd, I think, maybe I'm mistaken, I'll check the date later, for Best in the World, ROH is going to do a live pay-per-view. Not a night pay-per-view, a pay-per-view on every cable provider, they say. they're going to be doing a pay-per-view. This is fucking huge because I don't think anyone expected ROH to ever do a full-on cable pay-per-view. Like this,
again.
Well, I think maybe again, but like
they haven't done a live one though. They've taped the previous
that's the difference.
Yeah. So this is a pretty crazy and a pretty huge step into the future for ROH, and this is like a big gamble, but it could really work out well for them.
I think the thinking behind this is that they've done iPay-per-views, had so many problems with them. They need some kind of presence, like a live presence people can watch.
Yeah.
A pay-per-view. So they're going to the regular format, which I don't know a lot about this kind of stuff, but I'm told they're lower risk, easier to pull off.
I'd imagine.
Fewer technical things that could go wrong with it. So from that standpoint, it sounds like it makes sense to do.
To me, this is one of those things that, like, if it's going to work, this is the time.
Yep.
Because we're seeing Dish Network and DirecTV already dropped WWE programming, pay-per-view programming. So that opens up. There's a void to be filled.
Yeah.
We're talking about live pay-per-views. They're cheap. They're what, half the price?
Like the price I heard was like about $22 or so, like that, 25.
Yeah. So that's more than half the price of WWE. Yep. TNA is like $49.
Yeah.
So I think that if it's going to work, now's the time. I mean, you got the talent coming in. You got AJ. You know,
plus,
your top guys.
They're going to be
getting bigger.
Yeah, and they're going to be getting a lot of buzz after these two shows coming up in May with New Japan. Like those shows are going to give a lot of buzz, and like you need to jump on that ball right away.
So I'm hoping this really takes off for them. You know, $22. I think we can shell that out.
And also, like I think that this is just kind of the showing how they're doing is like they're pushing more now. They want to be a company that's on television. Like they're pushing the television market more and more, which I think is smart. You know, because like that's how you're going to get ahead in this company. You know, no offense to the independent companies, but like. You know, there's so many companies now that do iPay-per-views and video on demand and DVDs and things like that. It's like ROH kind of needs to like step up and move on.
Well, I mean, ROH is now a TV company. So Sinclair owns them. They are a TV
exactly.
company.
But like, and like, I think it's kind of cool like to make that next step into becoming a company on television.
Well, that's the difference between. That is the difference between ROH and TNA right now. Is TNA has a national TV. Yeah. And ROH doesn't. Quite yet.
Right. No, but I think if they keep up the steady numbers that they're doing and everything like that, and with TNA falling from grace farther and farther with Spike TV and everything, maybe Spike TV will pick up ROH. That'd be.
Well, you got to remember that Sinclair owns ROH.
So they got to go through Sinclair.
Yeah, you'd have to.
I would think that Sinclair might be smart enough to say like, hey, if we can get a national broadcast.
I wouldn't doubt it. They'd sell it, but I don't know how many companies are going to come to another broadcast company and ask for it.
You never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, this is really huge news. It looks like the match that's going to be signed for the main event is probably going to be Michael Elgin versus Adam Cole for the ROH title, which would be a really smart bet.
Really hope that Elgin.
All money points to Elgin win that belt that night. I mean, like that'd be the greatest idea, like to kick up a first ever live pay-per-view, have a new champion. I mean, you know, that'd be a way to bring in some audiences right there. So. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And also news for the New Japan ROH show is coming up pretty soon. The IWGP World Title Tag Team titles are on the line with Anderson and Doc defending at the New York show. Us Toronto, the guys going to Toronto fans are getting fucked over, man.
Do we get any?
We get Cole versus Steen.
Do we get any like ROH versus New Japan?
Not yet. They haven't announced. They've not announced any matches yet. They're like maybe, I think they're kind of like just building up as like. You show up and it's gonna, but I would like them there.
That should be good. Tanahashi and Okada and Nakamura on the show, so.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't give a shit who they face, as long as they don't face.
And Liger.
That's
Mark Out City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Young Bucks.
Yeah. I don't know. You're gonna see a lot of really good matches, and I think this is gonna be mutually beneficial for both companies.
Oh, absolutely.
New Japan has been trying to increase exposure over here quite a bit more, so that's definitely going to help them in that regard.
Have you heard about the JR news that he basically said like he'd be willing to work with New Japan and be an English commentator?
That would
be amazing.
Give me
and he's going to be in he's going to be in Toronto, so that would be.
Hearing him mispronounce all the Japanese guys' names, it would be fantastic.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah,
so incredible.
Dude, come on, man.
Tanahashi.
My God, Tanahashi.
Yeah, that would be. You would make those matches so much fun. It's a Rainmaker. It's a Rainmaker. Oh my God! Please.
Oh my God.
whatever needs to be done for this to happen, please, please, God, I'm sending out a prayer to the Almighty right now. Yeah. Please make it happen. Or the wrestling gods,
also,
wherever they may be.
One thing to point out is that, speaking of guys that are like leaving WWE, Mick Foley might be going to ROH.
Or what exactly?
Just be like kind of like an ambassador kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like kind of like what he was before.
Active roster, remember? No.
But like WWE apparently offered him a Legends deal and he turned it down. And like there's been like a lot of hints that he might be going over to like work for ROH in some way or form.
That'd be cool.
Which yeah, I really liked his stuff he did back in, was it 2006 or 2005 with the CM Punk angle and the Joe angle?
I think that was before that.
Was it 2004 maybe?
Yeah.
4.
So.
Oh yeah, well 2004 with Joe, but then 2005 with Punk.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this would be really interesting. And I guess one last bit of New Japan news, unless you guys can think of anything else, which is the first name for the G1 24 tournament has been announced, and it is the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Oh, yeah.
So, boner, because that's a lot of fucking matches that man's going to have.
And he's got a match with Okada coming up. That should be...
Oh, my God.
I mean... Yeah. It's their first time working together, so or no,
no, it's not. They worked. I think they worked together in TNA, but like that's TNA.
Yeah, but I don't see how this wouldn't be an amazing match. This just sounds awesome.
Yeah, the rest of the card looks kind of there's a couple good matches like Ryusuke Taguchi versus Kota Ibushi for the junior title. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it should be good.
Bucks versus Forever Hooligans for the 10,000th time.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Is that the opener?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be the opener.
And Ishii's taking on who's that guy that teams with Makabe? The guy that does the headbutt thing.
Tenzin? No.
The guy with the raspy voice.
Oh, shit.
Hanma?
Hanma, yeah.
Hanma, yeah, he's facing him.
Hanma.
Yeah, that should be good. But like this other card, like the rest of the card kind of looks. Yeah, I mean we got the Chaos guys taking on Suzuki and Shelton Benjamin, and we have.
Whew.
Yeah.
That's a stinker.
Yeah, and we also have, ready for this? Kojima versus Wes Briscoe.
Yeah. Need to get the NWA guys out of there. They're just like dragging everything down.
Let's be real.
Shit,
like the NWA is dead.
Yeah.
It died in like '94.
Zombified at best.
Just let it die.
In 2012, we got our small resurrection when Cole Cabana and Adam Pearce had that nice feud for the belt. And then they fucking killed that quickly, and those two guys left and said, fuck the NWA, and it's like, that should have been a hint to everyone.
Should have been.
Yeah. So,
it's time to get rid of NWA.
And bring in the ROH guys.
ROH.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see Elgin in there.
Yeah, I want to see...
Kyle O'Reilly. I want to see Kyle O'Reilly auto parts over in New Japan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
O'Reilly versus Japanese O'Reilly? Shibata. No.
Should be Carnage.
Japanese. That's what I called him at first because they had this like a similar wrestling style, but now I realize that Shibata is basically the man. So.
Shibata is death in human form.
Yeah. That would be a... I don't know if O'Reilly... Well, O'Reilly's a pretty tough dude, but I don't know if he can handle that.
That'd be a challenge.
Savage beating.
I think the only guy that... How about Shibata versus Loki? That'd be like maybe like the only close comparison.
I would love to see it because Shibata would probably be the one guy that could really
fuck him up,
be like, no.
Maybe,
no, you stop that.
No.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Or Kenta, maybe.
I don't know, Kenta.
I don't know, we've seen that match.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is an amazing match.
Yeah.
Alright, anything else to talk about wrestling-wise? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you're watching currently?
I don't know, but I'm glad Chikara's coming back soon.
Yeah.
I'm glad for that.
Yeah, it's going to be an pay-per-view. I don't know if we mentioned that before, but it's going to be an pay-per-view. Their first return.
Are they both? Are both shows going to be?
The return show is.
Okay.
Right
on.
And I don't know if we mentioned the Peter G, the first match, or the first couple matches. I don't think we mentioned Peter G.
I don't believe we have. O'Reilly is going.
O'Reilly versus Cole in a knockouts.
I really hope O'Reilly wins, but I don't know. But
I think they should because it's the right time, and also since Drake is leaving for the WWE very, very soon. Obviously you need someone to take the belt off Cole, and I think they wanted to be Drake, but it's the Kyle.
Yeah, this isn't PWG's fault, but having Cole be like a long reign champion in two companies, a lot of people who watch PWG also watch ROH, and it's kind of too much. Adam Cole as champion, but
dude, you never get enough Adam Cole, baby.
You can't.
Damn right. And also, we're going to be seeing Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett, and Cedric Alexander taking on Kevin Steen and the Young Bucks. Trevor Lee, Everett, and Cedric Alexander had a really, really great match at the opener for Mystery Vortex 2. I've heard. We're looking forward to that show really, really badly when it comes out. And so, yeah, they're going to go up against the other half of Mount Rushmore, and all intents and purposes, it's going to be a fucking show stealer, and I fully expect to see death in many forms, and a lot of super
various
forms of death and crazy shit that is, you know, so that will make me go, oh my god, what the fuck is that? How is that possible?
Classic PWG match here.
Yeah. But, man, once again, man, wrestling's fun right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I know it's weird, we're kind of going through a transitional period, but there's a lot of stuff that's
there's a lot of things to be happy about.
Yeah. Feeling optimistic about many
This
things.
is usually the stretch of the year that it's good, you know, up till SummerSlam.
And then
it's just, yeah.
Massive mountain.
Then we get the swamp ass parts of the year.
Yeah.
It's like we had a nice workout and then you're swamp.
Yeah. Last year was rough. I mean,
last year was rough.
I mean, it was like one of those swamp asses where like you wipe and you think you got it and then you keep wiping and it just keeps coming. I'm sorry, was that too much?
That was too much.
But
that was from like I understood the comparison.
Yeah, you know, from like the Monday after SummerSlam to like Elimination Chamber, it was just like so many wipes.
And then you run out of toilet paper and
you're like, what? I guess I'm just gonna deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
Help me. Jesus Christ.
Well, we like to keep things highbrow, right?
Yeah, we're
sophisticated. An intellectual approach.
Yeah, we got it. We all got it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, what I want to talk about real quick is we will be having PWG reviews finally coming back. All-Star Weekend 10 coming soon. This guy is still watching them. And then DT4. And yeah, we're working on it. And also live reactions probably. Making a comeback soon.
Yep.
All right.
Now that we have some time with WrestleMania.
We got all kinds of time to watch some CZ Dub.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, you got to look forward to our, I don't know, we haven't picked up a name for our road trip to Toronto. We're going to be filming that whole time, and we're going to be having some fun.
That's right.
We're going to get into some shenanigans, to say the least.
Yeah,
some situations, you know.
Some things.
Some escapades.
I will consider a failure unless Nakamura knees one of you in the face. I will settle for nothing less.
I don't know how we're going to get that on camera.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Would you settle for
follow him into his dressing room? Hey, Nakamura! He just
you can't ask him to do it. You have to get him to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
How about a super kick or a palm strike from?
Yeah, one of you guys getting hurt from a wrestler?
We'll definitely get hurt.
Well, you think we're not going to get hurt? Yeah. Think we're going to go to Toronto and not get hurt?
Or we're going to get arrested.
Yeah, there's either an arrest or a wrestler beating one of you guys up or both.
Yeah. All right, we'll figure something. And also, guys, we still need questions for the Q&A interview videos we're going to be doing pretty soon. I don't know when we're going to fucking film them whenever we find time, and we're. You know,
coming at you sometime.
Yeah,
eventually. You know.
Well, you know, it's like the Jeff Jarrett promotion. It's coming, you know, just or we're George R.R. Martin. It's coming. Don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge, you know. So I'm sure the Game of Thrones fans, you know, all 10 of them that watch our video are gonna get that reference. So
I get it. I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you're an asshole. All right, guys. Take care.
His jokes.
Bye.